So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Stand Up Speakeasy. My name is Sarath, and every episode of the Stand Up Speakeasy, I bring on a guest from the Central Time Zone, and I get to interview them because the pandemic hit and I couldn't go on tour. So, with that being said, my guest today is from the Panhandle of Florida. Welcome to the show, Tam Taylor. Hey, Tam, how are you?
Hey everybody, how are you? Hey
I'm doing
Sarah,
well. Thank you for being on the show today.
thank you for having me.
You're welcome, indeed. And so, Tam, you perform in the Panhandle of Florida. What's it like in the Panhandle?
Right now it's a little warm. It's really fun to perform in the Panhandle. We have a lot of great talent here. We have a lot of great venues. Uh, Panama City Comedy does a lot of the booking here, and we've had a really good turnout, and people are really embracing comedy here, so it's a lot of fun.
Most definitely. And what are some of your favorite venues out there in the Panhandle to
Oh,
perform
my
at?
favorite venues. I can't tell you my favorite venues because I work at all of them, but I will tell you there's a lot of good ones.
Indeed. Let's see here. And you're also an actress and a songstress, and as well as a comedian. What are your favorite projects that you worked on as a singer and a actress?
Well, one of my favorite things to work on was my TLC show that I had. I met a lot of great producers, and just a lot of great people worked on that show. It was a joyful atmosphere, and I really, really learned a lot during that show. So it was a lot of fun. I did my own show here called Tam Time that I hosted. It was on WJHG TV. We didn't do a season this year because of COVID restrictions, and we just didn't feel like it was the time to do another season. But for last season, I did win a Telly Award for the Best New Television Personality. So that was really, really exciting.
Fantastic, great stuff. And these are the questions I wanted to ask you if I was to go on tour, and I've asked these questions with all the comics that I've interviewed. What inspired you to perform stand-up comedy?
Um, what inspired me was just how when I would watch stand up comedy, the energy that the comics had and the way that they interacted with the crowd. And I thought, maybe I could do that. And I did some open mic nights and found out that I really enjoyed doing it. And it's also a creative outlet between acting jobs and acting auditions because acting is 95.999% auditions and 1% roles. So it's just a really good comedy is a really good outlet for me to express myself on stage and just kind of keep my brain sharp and my wits about me.
Indeed, I got most of it. It kept on like breaking up a little bit, but I think it's both of our ends of our internet connection. Um, and what was it feeling like when you first performed stand up?
It was scary when you first perform because it's actually scary every time you perform. Because you don't know if the crowd's going to laugh, if they're not going to laugh, if your material is fresh enough, if they've heard some of your material in another club. You just really don't know how they're going to react. So it's scary. But once you get up there and you start going, it's a lot of fun. And knock on wood, I've had really, really good experiences.
Most definitely, indeed. And let's see here. What are your favorite comedy specials and comedy record albums?
My favorite comedy, I'll just say some of my favorite comedians. Obviously, Amy Schumer is hilarious. Joan Rivers was hilarious. I like Kathy Griffin. I wish she would do a little more comedy away from celebrities, but I get that's her gig. So she's really good at what she does. And I've taken a lot of notes from her on just stage presence, period, because she's so comfortable on stage.
Most definitely. And they've been on TV and film, and I want to know what your favorite sitcom, sketch shows, and comedy films are.
Can you repeat that, please? You broke up a little bit.
Oh, what are your favorite sitcom, sketch shows, and comedy films?
I got my favorite comedy shows and specials. That's the question.
I'll type it in the private chat because we'll go sitcoms, sketch shows, and comedy films.
Comedy films. Oh yeah. Okay. I can't hear you because you're breaking up really really bad. But I will tell you my favorite comedy specials first, and that has to be my all time favorite comedy special. Has got to be Raw with Eddie Murphy. He is hilarious.
And
Anything Eddie Murphy, anything Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor was amazing. The Wanda Jackson, she played on Sanford and Son. She is hilarious. If people go back and listen to these records, it's just they were really ahead of their time in comedy, and those are some of my favorite albums and comedy specials.
indeed. And your favorite sitcom, sketch shows, and comedy films?
Oh no, I can't hear you. I wish I could hear
Oh,
you.
check out in the live chat. There's a private chat between us, and click on that, and then as you'll see what the question was.
I'll do what now?
Click on the chat.
The chat. Okay. Click on the chat. Oh,
Yep, and
sitcoms,
then
sketch shows, and comedy films. There we go. I've got that. Sitcoms. Let's go with. There's such good. I was a huge Veronica's Closet fan with Kirstie Alley. She is a hugely underrated comedian, if you ask me. She had a show on Showtime called Fat Actress that is unbelievable. If you have on demand, go back and watch Fat Actress because she is hilarious. Sketch shows. Everybody wants to say SNL, but my favorite sketch show was Mad TV. There's like a lot of good people that came out of Mad TV that went on. Jim Carrey, for one, he is the way he uses his body and his face and his comedy is amazing. My favorite comedy films. I can't really say what my favorite is. They're all so good. Right now, anything that Melissa McCarthy is in, she's really, really good. So I would check out her films. Um, Going back and going back and going back, probably Some Like It Hot with Marilyn Monroe. She was really good with comedy. Um, so I think those are my favorite comedy films.
indeed. And if you can go on tour with any comedians locally and internationally known, which comedians would you like to go on tour with?
Well, comedians I like to go on tour with, probably. Do they still have to be touring now? Because a lot of comedians aren't touring. I would love to just open with Amy Schumer. She's hilarious. She's really, really, really funny. And there's such good female comedy out there. Rita Rudner, who is a Canadian comic, she is hilarious. She's an older comic, but she's really, really good. And if Phyllis Diller was alive, Phyllis Diller would be the woman that I would go on tour with because hands down, funniest female comic of all times. Locally, Alicia Miracle is amazing. Janet Fortune, love her. Tech Johnson, um, Jason Hedden. Just there's so many great local comics. We're just really lucky to have a lot of funny people here. We're in Florida. What can I say?
Indeed. Which comedians would you like to get roasted by, past and present?
Oh, comedians I'd like to get roasted by. Nikki Glazier would be one I would love to get roasted by. She's really, really good at it. She might be a little too good at it. I might be scared if she started roasting me. Uh, Richard Pryor. Uh, Obviously, again, Eddie Murphy, Chris Tucker, Chris Rock. Uh, Wanda Sykes. Um, this is just all the comedy that I grew up with and that I watch, and I think they'd be really good roasters. Ooh, did you leave me? Okay. Hey, everybody. I guess I'm on my own here on this live chat. So we're going to wait on Sarah to come back.
I'm not sure what's going on
I
with
would
the
tell you a
internet
few
here.
jokes, but they're a little dirty. So I don't think I will do that. There you are. I was like, where did you go?
There. Indeed, this internet's been acting so strange as of like the past couple of days. I'll see what's going on with the cable company or the internet company. We'll see what's going on. But where do you see your comic career in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, I hope I'm still alive in the next 5 years, the way the country's going right now. So I hope we're still here in 5 years. But where I see my comedy career going in 5 years, I'm just going to keep plugging away, keep putting out positive affirmations, and being thankful for everything that I do and the work that I do, and be proud of the work that I do, and just see where it leads me, and not have too many expectations. I don't need to be the most famous person in the room. I just want to be in the room.
Indeed, most definitely. And it was choppy about your roast comedians that you picked. Which comedians were they again? I'll type it in again. Let's see
Okay,
here.
which comedians? That's what I am, I guess, as a comedian. What comedian would you like to get roasted by, past and present? Again, it would be Eddie Murphy. It would be Richard Pryor, Nikki Glazer. She's hilarious. Amy Schumer. We'll throw her in. Melissa McCarthy, Wanda Sykes, LaWanda Jackson, uh, Phyllis Diller, Lucille Ball, uh, Frank Sinatra. They used to. He's a good roaster. He was a good roaster. Not so much anymore, obviously. He was a good roaster. Dean Martin. They were all comedy legends, and they would be really fun to get roasted by.
Indeed. And there's improv and sketch and comedy writing, directing, etc. Which comedy would you like to venture off into?
What other forms of comedy? I like physical comedy. I like a lot of slapstick comedy. So maybe I would like to venture into that, and then splash a little dark comedy because I have a very dark sense of humor.
Indeed, I do too. I love it. And what is your favorite joke a comic has written? And I'll type it in the box here, so um, it'll be easy for us because this internet's driving me bonkers.
Okay.
But what's your favorite joke a comic has written?
Uh, Probably my favorite joke that another comic has written. I There's so many. I don't have a favorite. I like all comedy, but obviously the one that comics talk about the most would be the Aristocrats, because you can't go wrong with the Aristocrats.
Indeed, most definitely. And what experience would you like your audience to take with them after a set is over? Here we are. I'm a slow typer with one hand.
That's okay. I'm reading it. We're so choppy. Uh, an experience I would like the audience members to take with them after one of my sets would be just lighten up and don't take yourself so seriously. If I can make one person laugh or one person forget the day that they've had and feel better, I think I've done my job.
Absolutely. Indeed. And which comedians would you like to see on a future episode of the Speakeasy?
This internet is so choppy. There's got to be a joke in here somewhere. I can't really put my finger on it, but there's got to be a joke in here somewhere. But I can't hear.
Ah, indeed. Um, How about this one?
I think in the Panhandle, the comedians I would like you to speak with next, you have to talk to Tech Johnson. He is hilarious. If you haven't had Janet Fortune on, you have to have her. I know you've had Alicia; she would be my number one pick, but I know you've had her. So let's go with Tech and Janet. I think they would be really really good on this.
Fantastic. I'll definitely reach out to those fine folks. And are there any final words that what did you pick the Humane Society to donate to?
Blind. I can't hear you.
Okay, I'll type it into this thing. Uh,
Okay. Oh. Why donate to the Humane Society? Because there's so many animals that need good, loving homes. There's so many animals out there who are starving, who are freezing, and dogs just make your life better. Cats make your life better. So donate to the Humane Society, please, so they can have food, warm blankets, and people to care for them. And remember, get your pets spayed and neutered.
Indeed, excellent stuff. And final words to part with?
I'd just like to thank you for having me on your show to talk about comedy because that's one of the things that I like to talk about. Tonight, I do have a comedy show at Captain Anderson's Event Center. It starts at 7 o'clock. It's called Comedy and Cocktails. That's going to be great. If you have time, come out and see it. We would love to entertain you. And I guess my final words would be let me entertain you.
Indeed, most definitely. Thank you so much, Tam, for taking time out of your day to be part of the Stand Up Speakeasy. And I'm sorry this has been choppy on my end, and I don't know what's going on with the internet, but we'll find out what's going on with it later. But thank you so much, and we'll find a joke that's hidden in there somewhere.
Thank you, sir. Have a great day.
Thank you, you too, Tam. Be well, and I'll see you soon.